Hello everyone who's watching or it's on recorded. Welcome to the first meditation class with me, Ian, at Satya Sanctuary. And we're here in the beautiful place of Yoga Sangha in Chido. It's very beautiful. I'm live with my beautiful girlfriend Lydia. She's here going to practice some meditation with us. You can watch this here live now, or it will be obviously recorded on Instagram, and I will just share that later. I'm also recording it for YouTube as well, in much higher quality, so you can watch it there at your leisure. Isn't that nice? Great. I will be doing this every Sunday at 5:30, so if you want to come live, it's much better live, because we're in the space together and we can practice together, and it's much warmer here. It's nice. Please do come along, that'd be great. So yeah, what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be working through a few asanas. Asana was created through Hatha Yoga to release the body's tensions, get the spine into alignment so you can sit comfortably in meditation posture for extended periods of time. And you can just forget about the body. It's not twitching, it's not itching, it's not tight and uncomfortable to be in the body, so then your mind can just be free. Then we will do some pranayama, very gentle work, just working on basic breathing techniques, and that will allow you to connect with the body. Hello there, who's joining? Hello. So then you'll be able to slow your mind down, come into the rest and digest, rather than fight or flight, which is where we stay most of the time, but it's no good for meditation. You want to run out the door, you don't want to sit down. So we'll be doing a bit of that, and then we'll go through into meditation. Now I've created a 4-step cycle that you can do, and you'll be practicing every time we come to this meditation class. It's called entering, sensing, maintaining, and exiting. I'll say that one more time. Entering, sensing, maintaining, and exiting. Something I'm just going to create myself. It's a bit of a language I'll be developing, and we can, as a community, discover that as we go on. So, without further ado, I'm going to take this off because I'm right next to the radiator and I am sweltering. I thought it was going to be cold because we've been doing meditations, but no, it's I haven't even moved and I'm warm. So, without further ado, we're just going to be working on the body to just wake it up a little bit. It's nothing too strenuous, it's all floor work, which you'll be happy to know. It is a Sunday, it is a bank holiday, we don't be doing too much. So, without further ado, let's get onto our all fours. So, knees and hands. We're doing cat, cow. Now, many of you will be accustomed to this. For those who are not, get your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. And it's very gentle. We're inhaling our spine and arching it very gently, and then exhaling as we arch the back in the opposite direction. Supposedly this looks like a cat, then we go the other way and it looks like a cow. I've never seen a cow like this, but that's the way it is. So looking for extension in the spine. I'm not trying to collapse anything here. Imagine you've got air pockets between each of your vertebrae in your spine, and especially in the back of the neck. So we're looking for openness, ease, and try and connect that breath to the movement of your body. Nice and gentle. This isn't about finding extremes. This is just waking up the spine, allowing it to fall into its natural alignment. As you loosen the muscles, the spinal extensors around the spine. The trapezius, which sometimes can lock it into place. We don't want it. That's also loosening up the lumbar region of the back, the lower part of your back, which is also good, especially if you've been sitting down for extended periods of time. Good, and just come back to flat back. Now we're going for a gentle spinal twist. Whoa, love a good spinal twist. So come into some sort of comfortable seated posture. This is easy pose. I think that's quite deceptive because it's not always easy for everyone. But try and find a way of sitting like this. You can also sit on the legs if you will, but I would recommend this or some sort of version of this. Now, spinal twist, very gently, it's nothing too major. You're inhaling, and then you're exhaling, and then you're rotating from the top of your spine. You just grab your left hand onto your right knee, and just look over the right shoulder, like so. Breathe naturally here, and inhale, exhale, come around. Good. And we do the other side. Inhale when you're flat on, and exhale very gently. Like you're squeezing out a rag filled with water. Spine loves spinal twist. It's really good. Just breathing gently here, deeper as you go, and then inhale, coming forward. Inhaling up and exhaling, going around again. Gentle breathing. Be calm with the body. We're trying to slow the body down a little bit now. Just coming into tune with it. Don't try to break it or do anything particularly strenuous. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale. Inhale again and exhale the final time on the side. Remember to breathe. And inhale, coming forward. Exhale. Shake it out. Olivia shaking, she likes to shake. Inhale, right arm up. We're going to go for a side lean. Take your left hand, just fingertips gently touching the floor. Inhaling up. Feel that extension in the spine, and then just take yourself over to the left hand side. Not too deep. Just very gently until you feel the stretch and then stop. Again, we're not trying to break anything here, we're just trying to soften the nervous system. And if you start putting more strain in the nervous system, it's not going to scream at you and going, oh, black, and get you in fight or flight again. Don't need that. We're just gently going, we're going to meditate soon, body. Get all the lactic acid out, shift the stuff, get the lymphatic system moving, everything around a bit. Inhaling up. Drop the right hand down to the ground, inhale the left hand up, and exhale. Remember to breathe while you're here. The lymphatic system only works with bodily movement. It doesn't have a heart to pump it around, so it needs movement so you can get all these toxins out of the body. If you're interested in the lymphatic system, I would recommend researching into it. Fascinating. Just breathing. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Good. I'm just going to do one side of that one, I think. We're going to look at the joints now, because they can get very tight and particularly uncomfortable during meditations. Just the way it is. So, we're going to clasp our hands behind our the back thigh. It's a thigh. And then we're going to inhale our knee up and exhale it down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Carry that on. I'm going to show you from the side angle. I'm not going too far. Just trying to keep that spine. Trying to sit on your sit bones. You're not like, whoa, like I was just there before. You're trying to keep that core engaged. You're trying to keep your leg up. I'm just trying to focus on that knee. I've got particularly tight hamstrings. Yes, I know, a yoga teacher with tight hamstrings. What a surprise. Yes, we do. I think we're working on as yoga teachers as well. So I don't really push it too far. I can't really get it too far. It's because I'm very tall. Swap over. So just go as far as you can go, is basically what I'm trying to say. Try and keep that ankle nice and relaxed. Engage that foot that's along the floor. Connect your breath with that body. Good. Gentle ankle rotations now. You can do both. Now if you want, this can get a little bit tiring sometimes and your back can fold in. But just rolling round and round. So with the fingertips, it can just help you sit upright a little bit better. But just don't try and push and crush that spine. We've done all that lovely work on just to loosen it up. So just very gentle with yourself. Good. Finally, hip rotations. So if you grab like we had before, and we're just circling that hip now. The leg will naturally want to straighten and bend as you do this. Just let it, but don't try and extend it either. Don't try and accentuate it anytime. Or go the other way. Got some serious clicks going on there. Tasty. Again, keep breathing. Do not hold the breath. Nice long breathing. Good. Other leg. Let's go. Choose a rotation way to rotate. Don't know how else to say that. Just go one way, and then we'll go the other. Let's go the other way now. So really try and find where those crunch spots are. Where does it get painful? And just working into those sections. Slowing down maybe if you need to. Give both of those legs a bit of a shake. Good. They should feel a little bit more live now. There's gnarly points throughout your legs, so this is allowing all those meridian lines to open up as well, which is good for you. Helps you ground a bit better. Let's get our feet together, the butterfly pose. Now this is something that does actually look like a butterfly, not a cat-cow, which doesn't look anything like a cow. I feel like this does have a bit of a butterfly thing. So you just gently bounce them. Just going to open up the inside of these thighs now. As you can see, when we'll sit into our meditative posture, you'll see why these work and they're helpful for you. Good. Remember to breathe. Good. Okay. We're going to go into a reclining pigeon now. So, sliding back. It's one of my favourites. You're going to take your right leg and place it on your left thigh. So your ankle is touching your left thigh. And then you reach through that little hole that you've created. And you're just drawing both of those legs in. And you should feel a stretch in your butt. If you're not feeling that, draw it in even closer. Good thing with this one is that you can easily balance it and you can make it your own. Don't have to reach through if you don't need to. If you feel the stretch and that's it. Remember, we're not trying to push the nervous system into anything particularly uncomfortable. And release down. Left leg. Good sounds coming from the ear over there. So you can also press, and I would recommend it. This is what I was taught. You push your elbow into your knee. That is, so that at the moment it's our left knee. So it's almost a bit of torque, it gives you a bit of something to push against. So you push your knee into your elbow and your elbow into your knee. It's very important to keep your the top leg flexed, the foot flexed. It keeps the you stretch into the butt and not the knee. We do not want to rotate the knee. It goes backwards and forwards, not left and right. It doesn't like it. And release down. It's a little bit of a roll. It's that lumbar spine. It's going a bit off piece here with improvisation, as I like to do. I thought it would be nice. It feels nice. Good. Now we're just going to put our feet back down on the ground, about our hands width away from the butt, until your ankles. This is a good gauge to get your ankles underneath your knee without looking. And then we're just going to inhale, slowly peel our spine off the floor, raising our pelvis into the air, and just keep looking forward and exhaling down. And inhaling up. And exhaling down. So you're giving the same amount of attention and awareness to the spine as you peel it off. And as you place it back down vertebrae by vertebrae. Again, it's good for the core here, which we do use a lot in our meditations. But again, it's working on that spine in the back, which is one of the main contributors to a good meditation practice. If your spine is aligned, you'll feel much more awake, you'll feel lighter, and you won't complain so much about sitting up for too long. Again, grab your knees into the chest, give it a bit of a roll. Moving on to the final section, so just find your way up to seated. I'm just going to do some shoulder, neck, and neck rolls. Neck stretch, neck rotations. So just gently bringing your neck round. Remember to breathe. Find your rhythm, find your breathing. And go the other way. Try not to collapse your neck at the back. Try not to round the shoulders. Keep the chest nice and open. And then just drop your head to the side. Choose one side, just enjoy that stretch. If you feel like you need a little bit more, just take your arm out to the side. And feel it all the way down. And then you can, if you want even more, if you're feeling hardcore, remember not to damage that nervous system too much. You can just flex that hand towards your shoulder. And then bring that arm back and the head back. And go to the other side. And you can take your hand up if you want. Again, if it starts feeling like too much, just back off. Listen to your body. It knows what it's doing much more than you would ever know. And finally, just bring your head into a neutral position. Just let's roll those shoulders back. Just really enjoying that. Allow your hands to just kind of sit into your lap. It really is the shoulders doing the work here. Allow that chest to be up and risen, but not pushed out. And then roll those shoulders inwards now, going forward. Good. Okay. Now, as I said before, asana was created in a lot of ways through hatha yoga. Raja yoga, not so much. That was just sit, meditate, that was it. Hatha yoga comes along and creates this whole sequence that we see a lot of now. But really asana meant seated posture. as we're about to do. Hatha yoga with asana, it's the stretching, it's the moving that we're all very used to, what we've just done. So I'm just going to take you through a couple of, several poses that we can do, just in case you are unaware of how to sit in meditation. So, like we said before, easy pose. You are basically stacking. You can choose whichever feels comfortable for you. There is a way around. I can't remember it because I just think it's easier just to go with the way that feels best for you. You will just fold one foot in first, so it'll be pressed up against the groin area, and then you're taking the right foot and just place it in front. Or it could be right over left, whichever feels comfortable to you. Like that feels much more tight on my side. That's why I like to do the left side. That's just the way that my body is. I do sometimes try to alternate through my practices. But sometimes I just like doing the thing that my body likes. You can also go for half lotus. I'm not going to go through all of them because there are quite a few seated postures. And this is basically just taking the front leg that you've got and placing it on top of your thigh. If it's uncomfortable, don't. Just don't. A lot of it's down to hip rotation, that's where we're loosening up the hips. So this internally rotates, your whole leg internally rotates, and that allows, you have to have quite flexible wrists as well, ankles, and you have to allow that whole thing to shift forward. And then you can sit quite comfortably like this. The other one, asana, it's basically sitting on your knees. With your heels on the bum. Now, this is good for people who haven't practiced much meditation because it really does help your alignment of your spine quite easily. You don't have to really do too much and it just does it. So if this is something for you, great. It can get quite uncomfortable on the ankles. You start kind of go to sleep very quickly. But I find it really good. We will be stopping and moving in between a couple of the stages, so don't worry, you're not going to be sitting there for the whole time. And that's what I usually do as well, and it's easy to go back into the meditation after that. And one final one that I've been working with a little bit is you really bring in the palm of your foot, sole of your foot, into the middle of your thigh on that side, so left foot for me first, and then it goes onto the right side, and then this comes up to here. So it's a little bit like an easier lotus, so it doesn't all the way come up to the thigh, it just sits on your calf, something like this. It's a little bit more gentle. That's what we're working with today. So choose one, whatever you'd like to do. As we go into pranayama. This is a breathing practice. I'm going to go through abdominal breathing. That's all we're doing today. There's a whole host of exercises that you can do with pranayama, and we'll be doing courses on that as well. If you're interested, please let me know if it is something that you're interested in, and I will set that up like that. We're going to be doing abdominal breathing and ujjayi breathing. Just two things that will help us. So first things first, we're just going to get your hands and place them on your abdomen. Don't know where your abdomen is. This bit, down here, yeah, quite low down. You could probably get your hands into your waistband and you can feel it. That's kind of how low we're wanting to, like on the top of the pubic bone. It's kind of how low we're trying to go through. It even comes down through the groinal area as well. So your whole system's going up and down at the same time and expanding out the sides. So we're looking for like a 3D breath. So just find a bit of comfortability there, and then just try and direct your breathing. If it helps, you can close your eyes or you can just drop your gaze. We'll be doing that in meditation, so it's good to get used to. And we're just trying to direct our breath into the lower part of our body. And just keep practicing while I'm talking. Might feel like a bit of a weird sensation for some of you. A lot of the time it's breathing up in the chest. And what this does is, it's again, it's in the fight or flight. If you're ever anxious, your breathing starts coming up here. Now, if you start breathing down here, your whole system starts relaxing. Your breath is completely interlinked with your mind and therefore your body. And therefore your body, back to your mind, back to your breathing. It's all interlinked, you can't separate either of them. So if you can control your breath, you will start soothing down, becoming more present and here. It's a very simple way to calm yourself down for meditation or just in general life. Now just try and take away your hands and still feel that sensation. The top of the chest shouldn't really be moving, or even the rib cages. Should feel quite open. Now if you can just feel it in the front, try and take your awareness to expanding it on the sides and the back. Now you might not get loads of movement there, but try and feel it. The power of the mind can be really helpful with visualizations. Now what this is doing as well is supporting your whole structure, so your shoulders and your chest can relax. But breathing from here, your back's going to give out quite quickly. This is the powerhouse. This is where all the support lies. I'll give you a few more moments to breathe down there. Just keeping with that breathing, keeping the abdominal breathing going. I just want you to just drop your chin ever so slightly and just see what happens with the breath. You should hear this almost like sea song sort of sound coming from the throat. Or if you like, Darth Vader. It's almost like a hiss. Now it's not about really rounding your chin down. It's just like a gentle tug. So the back of your neck is still long. Take it like this. And this is called Ujjayi breathing. And what's very interesting about Ujjayi breathing, carry on while I'm talking, it connects the vagus nerve directly. Now the vagus nerve starts here, all the way down. It governs a lot of the nervous system. Now with Ujjayi breathing, we start activating this, but it also starts everything calming down. It's a great way, another great way, in combination with abdominal breathing, to chill you out before your meditations. So I'll allow you to practice this for a few more moments. As you sit here, just doing some abdominal breathing with Ujjayi breath. Trying to keep that alignment in the spine, that gentle alignment. just keeping the abdominal breathing there. If naturally your breathing starts opening up into the chest, allow it to happen. This isn't about taking all the breath there. If it's naturally happening, go for it. The start is in the belly. You should feel the impetus to breathe come from there. And then it will rise up. Forward, got some wiggles from the deer. Stay on this. That's good. You loosen up the spine, that's good practice. Good. Now, you can take your practice there. You can allow it just to rest for a bit. If you need to sit and wiggle, do so. While I also check the time. Great, okay. Perfect. Perfect. Technology here. Beautiful. Now, you might want to block Lydia. You at home, you might want to block, you might want to bolster yourself. Something I probably should have talked about a little bit before. Sometimes if we're not used to sitting for extended periods of time, our hips do this. Yeah, all the hip kind of tucks in from sitting in cars, sitting in TVs, computer screens, all that thing. So what we can do to help is just get the corner of the block and sit on it. And basically what I'll do, you'll see there that my pelvis is coming to neutral now. Now everything stacks very naturally. It's much easier to sit for an extended period of time. Yeah, it will just happen. And as you do that, your hips will slowly just end up doing that. If you want to practice this, do it at home. Just watching the TV, sit like this. And slowly, all of that will come back into place. Now, one last thing before we get started. This is an optional thing, but I was practicing it last night as well, and I really do enjoy it. It's mudras. So you may have seen these, very traditional. People do them a lot, and you see them all over the place in the yoga world. This one is called Chin or Jhana Mudra, and it's like that. You see it a lot. Everyone doing this sort of thing. So you're bringing your finger here, your index finger, into the crease of that thumb there. Then the rest of the fingers spread out. Like that. Yeah. So you're doing it on both hands. Now what this does, it creates almost like a psychic energy loop. You've got prana running through. We've just been playing with prana now with our breathing, and it's just flying out. It's always, and it just happens. That's what we're all connecting with. What this does is creates almost like a circuit, complete circuit, and it keeps the prana inside, so it allows you to strengthen while you're doing your meditations. It's either your hands up or hands down, whatever you like, yeah? But play with it. If you're more experienced in meditations, see how that feels for you. You might see a slight difference. You might already be doing them. But I have to say, it's very subtle, but it lifts you. It's very much, and it opens up your chest as well. And there's also a nadi point in your knees, which then connects all the way up here as well. So you're also activating that as well. Okay. I'd like you to close your eyes. I'm going to guide you through our next stage of meditation. Now, you can connect with your Ujjayi breathing and your abdominal breathing now, just allowing yourself to settle back into it. I'll just give you a few moments for that. Now, if it's too uncomfortable to close your eyes, you can just drop your gaze towards the floor or the tip of the nose. If you do have your eyes closed, you can still gaze towards the tip of the nose, or or you can gaze up towards your eyebrow center, just between the two eyebrows, Ajna chakra, or the third eye, more commonly known. Now as you sit here, we're entering stage 1, entering. And as you sit here, you'll start to notice the thoughts, those buzzy thoughts that are always there. Now you're just going to note them. Just, that's a thought. And then just let it drift on. You may get caught up in them. It's perfectly natural, but if you do, once you've noticed it, that was a thought, then let it slide on by. Imagine watching clouds in the blue sky. The blue sky is your mind, open, clear, markless. And the clouds are your thoughts, just drifting by, making shapes, making pretty stories. But all the time your mind is clear. Just allow them to drift on by. Don't watch them drift by, just let them drift. With this, allow yourself to feel the ground beneath you. Feel the space around you. Feel your breath once more. Allow your breath to fall into your body, into the lowest part of your torso, expanding in all directions. Now, you can take as long as you need, repeating those 3 phrases, just watching the thoughts go by, feeling the ground and space around you, and allowing yourself to connect to the breath, allowing it to fall into your body and fall back out again. You can just repeat those 3 phrases until you feel like you are here. You have entered this space. There is only here and only now. And then you can say that you've entered into this meditation practice. Thoughts come and go. Now many of us, we feel that the mind is something that is in the way, it's creating all these thoughts. Why is it doing this? Oh, I wanted to move, I wanted to have a peaceful mind, I want to have no thoughts, I'm trying to get there. I want to offer something to you. Imagine the mind is on your side. And you just need to guide it into the direction that you want it to go. If you want, you can visualize an empty space full of peace and calm. That is your open choice to guide that mind to it. It is your tool. Now that tool can be sharp and hurt, or it can be sharp and pierce something greater. Allow it to work with you. Don't fight it. Combine with it. See it as a friend. As we enter into sensing now, this notion will become a little bit more clearer, I hope. Under the senses, touch. Allow your mind to guide you to the sense of touch. Almost like you're walking hand in hand with your mind and your thoughts. Guide your awareness into that sense of your body on the floor, your hands and your knees. Sense of heat or coolness, a breeze, your breath in your chest or from your nose. This isn't about listing as many things as you possibly can. It's about going into one, maybe, and just really being there with that sensation. Then allowing that to grow so you can feel your whole body as one huge sense organ, feeling the world around it. Now, with your eyes closed if they are, or if they're open, just allow them to be a soft gaze, almost out of focus. With sight to you right now. If you've got your eyes closed, just allow a soft gaze into that darkness. It's not black, it's not nothing. There's shapes and patterns, maybe little wiggles, different shades of light and darkness behind your eyes. Really being present with that sense of sight. If your eyes are open, allow the colours to play with your eyes. Try not to attach any thought or feeling or label to what you're seeing. Just allow it to be seen. And with that, we can go to taste. What can you taste in your mouth? Can you taste the air? Find this one quite helpful here because it's not always something that we do unless we're eating. So we really have to be present with it to get some sense of taste here. It's on, all the senses are on all the time, it's just if you choose to connect with it or not. And its not so distant cousin, smell. Now a lot of us become alerted to smell when we smell something good or something terrible, not something neutral. But what does air smell like? Again, you might get thoughts, emotions, memories. These are all part of the clouds drifting by, their stories. Bring yourself back to that sense of smell. And finally, One of my favourites, if you're allowed a favourite in yoga, I would allow myself a favourite. It's hearing. What can you hear? This world bouncing around you, the vibrations meeting your ears, going into your brain, and you then hearing. Bring your awareness as far away from you as possible to the outside. What can you hear? Can you go further into the sky? Can you hear a plane? What would it sound like if you were in space? And then bring your awareness down to yourself, to this room, to your body. Can you hear your heartbeat? Maybe you can hear the hair brushing your ears. Alongside this, you can hear your thoughts. Sometimes quite loudly, sometimes just a whisper. But these are all part of this vibration that's going on around us. The sounds, the smells, the touch. The thoughts are there too, just there. Part of the scenery, as you will. But against all this, you've got your breath, steady and slow and deep. And then there's something else. And this is part of the meditation. What is this? What is this being? What is it to be? Now you may have stayed here now, so this is where we enter the third stage, maintaining. The senses that brought you in here. Maintain this sense, this feeling of meditation. Allow your breath to come to the tip of your nose. Bring your awareness to that breath at the tip of the nose. This is what we call an anchor point. Your mind starts drifting, following stories, following senses. Just come back to this point. It should feel cool as you breathe in and warm as you breathe out. Allow your breath to move easily and freely. Let the breath fall into the lungs and then out. Again, thoughts, feelings, memories will come and go. All you need to do is note. Thought. Feeling. Sensation. Even if there's pain in the body. Pain. And it might stay there. Pain. But watch it long enough and it will shift. You might not. You might have to do some more asana. That's all by the by. Just watch. Now if you feel like you need to go back to one more sense, please feel free. One that felt you more comfortable. If it brings you back into the present moment, so be it. And then just come back to the breath. sit for a while. Final phase, exiting. I'm just going to slowly deepen the breath, expanding the belly in all directions. Doing meditation, our breathing can be very shallow. That's the aim, almost to the point of no breath at all. It's perfectly natural to do that. Now we're just going to allow some more oxygen to come into the body. Nice deep breaths and exhales. Feel that oxygen rushing into the blood, coming to the brain. You should become more clear. More awake. Try to exhale fully as you breathe out. Now allow your awareness to gather at the third eye, your eyebrow center. And then taking that awareness almost like a laser pointer, draw it up to the top of your head. And then allow it to drop down to the back of your head, your neck, between the shoulder blades, down through the heart space, down the middle of the back behind the solar plexus, down the navel, and to the bottom of the spine. Now look it all the way underneath you, up to the front of your belly, navel, solar plexus, and come to rest in the heart. And here the awareness will expand in all directions like a golden light, filling your body with a full awareness, growing like a sunrise, until you have a full, complete awareness of your whole body as one whole being, not separate limbs, one whole body. And with that, you can feel it at the top of your head, your fingers and your toes. Give your fingers a little wiggle, your toes a little wiggle, and allow that movement to spread through your body. So gently exit this. You can just take your hands over your eyes. Just open the eyes, draw your hands down your face, so your fingers in front of your face, and then just allow yourself to come back in. is entering, sensing, maintaining and exiting of meditation. Now as we go on, I'll be slowly talking less and less. So we can sit down and just take that. The more we come, the more comfortable we are in that space. Remember, allowing your mind to almost guide you through this. Now, I wanted to leave you with one final thing. I'm not even sure if we're running over, but just one last thing. It's from the Upanishads, ancient text, which allows us to learn more about the philosophy of this yoga. And they have some beautiful teachings in there. Written poetry is the way that we can actually understand the state that we can get into meditation, but what yoga is also teaching us. This is a section from the Mundaka Upanishad. There are many different Upanishads. It goes like this. The flowing river is lost in the sea. The lumen sage is lost in the self. The flowing river has become the sea. The illumined sage has become the self. Those who know the self become the self. None in their family forgets the self. Freed from the fetters of separateness, they attain to immortality. Let this wisdom be taught only to those who obey the law of life's unity. Let this wisdom be taught to only those who offer their lives to the Lord of Love. This is the great truth taught in ancient times by the sage Angiras to Shankara. Let us adore the illumined sages. Let us adore the illumined sages. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you very much for coming. It's been beautiful to have you here. It's been beautiful to have Lydia here. I welcome you all Sundays, 5:30, to this space, Yoga Sangha. You can check it out on the website. You can also email me at satyasank@gmail.com and we can have a conversation on there. I hope you had a really peaceful time there. You can also watch this on YouTube. And you can watch it again on Instagram again. Thank you very much for coming.